Welcome back to the my goodness. Welcome back to the atmospheric cafeteria. My God, you would think it was Mercury retrograde where I can't, the way I cannot get words out because this is spirit. Everything is fine. Snoring pug underneath the desk, and there's just such a giant push here from someone. So yeah, well, don't know what this nervous energy is. All right, okay. So I don't even have coffee. I haven't even made coffee chocolate yet. If I didn't want to watch Patriot games tonight, I would do a coffee scry. So you know what that means. We'll do a coffee scry tomorrow. I will make fresh coffee chocolate tonight, and we'll do a nice chocolate coffee scry. Chocolate coffee scry. Well, it is technically chocolate coffee, isn't it? I mean, for the love of God, if you like chocolate in your coffee, just drink the chocolate in your coffee. I just consider it a sweet throughout my day, which is nice because I really like sweets. Sorry, so Spirit, what have we got going on now that I'm like babbling about like damn freaking everything? Like, oh my God, there's this energy is just so chaotic. Oh, that's funny. I have an Ace of Wands here too. Also, the cats are battling the moths that came in through the door because so first of all, what we have is a divine wish is coming in. It is coming in very, very quickly, and whatever hubbub was raised, whatever. Trying to find the right words. Whatever fighting going on is going to stop. And by this, I don't mean infighting and drasticness and it's getting lost in the weeds now. Whatever you're wishing for is coming in, and it's coming in right now. And this is a divine wish coming in, and the divine is the one that is putting a hand on top of whatever is holding you down. That makes a lot more sense, because for me this is a whole bunch of people fighting, you know. It's just chaos, and the divine is coming in to close down chaos. It even feels better now that I've done that. Like, you've got Three of Cups, you've got beautiful celebration coming in. I'm sorry, you can't fully see the cards. It'll be fine. Spirit's like, I don't care about the placement, I care about the message. Like, I know, but people like to see. We got Knight of Wands, Jack of Wands. I always want to say Jack of Wands. And our Ace of Wands covering up the havoc. And this divine wand is bringing in the Three of Cups. Oh, Queen and King of Wands. Oh, wow. Queen of Coins and King of Wands on the bottom. And the Seven of Wands, which is, wow, this is all coming, fast incoming. I'm being told fast incoming. This is all fast incoming. And this is, when I saw this one, I kept thinking this one, putting your stake into the ground, laying it to better teammates, saying, I'm not doing this anymore. That's what these, I kept confusing these two, which doesn't make any sense, even with the dyslexia that I'm doing that. But really and truly what it is I was being told this. The divine is bringing this in, and the divine is forcing this to happen. See, this is seven wands, and this is 5 wands. And all 5 of these wands, all 5 of them, this person has put into the ground. This person has healed. There's no more wands there. And the divine is saying, yeah, we're 100% done. We're done with that. We're done. It's healed. It's over. And here's your incoming news. That's your incoming celebration. I have the Ace of Coins too. The Ace of Coins, that's funny. I see a divine union between 2 different souls. Two very, very, very distinctly different souls. Yet 2 souls that are the same. Because the King of Wands is the king of growth. He's the king of farming. He is the king of planting. And here the Queen of Coins is able to grow these beautiful roses, and it's because she can grow them, because she can birth the things that she needs to birth. See the money there that she has, the coins? Those coins can be anything, but she can birth them. She can grow them. She shares heritage with the Queen of Wands. I'm being told this Queen of Coins shares heritage with the Queen of Wands, which is why she is able to birth such great things from the soil. And this person, on some level, mirrors this King of Wands. But the King of Wands is just the King of Wands. He's not birthed with anything else. He is high and he is mighty on his own. He is many things from the divine. The divine has given him many things. And when I say the divine has given him many things, I don't mean the divine has given him things as in, oh, here, let me bless you. It's more like, it's more like, it's not that this masculine needed it and the divine gave it. It's not that the divine was giving blessings. It's that the masculine himself, because he's the King of Wands, understands how to grow and give blessings and give in general. This masculine knows how to give. And because from day one, this masculine has always known how to give, the divine just gave to him as he needed it. You need a job, you've got a job. You need a car, you've got a car. You've healed yourself and you would like a new relationship. Well, here's a Queen of Coins who's coming in, and she has some Queen of Wands in her. And like you, she knows how to grow, and so the divine is connecting the two of you together. The divine is bringing this relationship in. Wholly and completely. This is 100% on all levels a divine intervention, I'm being told, of two souls. I have my mirror next to me, and it is quite energetic tonight. Yes, this is a divine intervention of two souls. Who are coming in short term. They have to get their wording right. Hold on. It's not short term, guys, is it? Because short term means for just a short amount of time together. Or do you mean in a short amount of time, which would mean that from this point to the time that the divine masculine gets here is a short amount of time? Or do you mean they're only together for a short amount of time? They're having a discussion. They're getting the right wordage. I'm pretty sure what they're saying. And my ears numb. Okay, the Empress. Oh. The reason why I'm not using my cards is because I'm literally just listening to what they're saying. And using cards is not going to help me with that. I mean, it's just not. You know, this is a lot like when you have to wait for your parents to have a discussion to make sure that what both of them said was right, and then they like have to come back to you with like, no, this is what we meant. And that's a really, really weird feeling because I was raised by a single parent. I never knew my dad, but now they're both in the afterlife together, so it gets weird. Okay. Okay. So I have to forget that you guys cannot hear them. So this divine masculine is coming in a short amount of time. Okay, so by a short amount of time, they mean that a little bit in a few days. Okay, so you do, okay. But they're saying it doesn't mean, oh my God, seriously? They're saying it doesn't necessarily mean soon. It just means a short amount of time, like a day, 2 days, 3 days. Take that how it resonates and feels right. If for you, days doesn't feel right, but weeks feels right, go with that. If months feel right, go with that. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your spidey sense. There are a lot more clairvoyant people here right now than what's usual. Okay. Okay, this divine masculine will be coming in shortly. There's the consensus of what it's going to be. Oh my ever-loving Lord. Okay, so that he will be coming in shortly. Not in a short amount of time, not soon, but he'll be coming in shortly. Now, shortly can often mean like, you know, when you say to somebody, oh, what time will grandma here? Oh, she'll be here shortly. Shortly can mean like half an hour, 45 minutes. So, you know, time-wise, you take that as it feels right to you, because you will understand energetically where your senses are with that. And that is a gift. This is a divine gifted union from the divine, and it is coming in shortly. Shortly, shortly, shortly. It is. But I felt the flip over. You know, I used to feel really weirded out when I would have my tarot cards like this side up, or I would like look through them. Like I used to like feel like really weirded out, but like I don't anymore. Like I used to think it was strange when I would see people like shuffle them the way that I do, and I just came to realize that your cards will tell you how to use them. They'll tell you how to shuffle them. They'll tell you how to fold them. They'll tell you exactly how they want to be cared for, which is just usually with a lot of respect. You know, treat your tarot cards as you would your friends. Okay. Hi, Violet. I'm being told somebody is in bondage of the soul. We've got the Empress. I got the Nine of Wands. I got the Eight of Swords. And in these two cards, the gentleman is looking at the Empress and very longingly, as if she's the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. And I'm looking in the camera at this, and it almost looks like early enough. See, disturbances. It almost looks like he's looking through windows or something in. Now this could be the this could be your own prison for yourself, or this could be somebody who's actually peeping Tom. Somebody who's actually looking at you and thinking of you like this, like, I have you captured and only I can take you out of these swords. You can't see your way out of this. You're too blind to see. I mean, the Empress is beautiful and she just stares off. She doesn't realize she's in, you know, captivity. But he does, because look at all the wands. He built her prison. Now, this doesn't have to be another person having someone in some form of dependent or bondage relationship that they either do or don't realize they're in. This can also be somebody who I'm trying to put it in the right words. Somebody who looks at themselves that way. It's like you're always looking in the mirror at yourself, but you're never actually seeing yourself, but you're only seeing yourself through a window. And so you keep yourself hidden in this cave that way. When you do that, you're not truly who you are. You're not being your high priestess. You're not being truly who you are. He has to go to the bathroom. Hold on, Ern. Give me a minute, babes. So what I'm going to say is this. If this is you hiding yourself under a bushel, feeling like you're always looking at the outside of what you are, like you always have a mask on, you're this is who you really are, but you're constantly pretending to be the Empress. And when you constantly pretend to be the Empress, it keeps you here. Sorry about that. Old desk, very old desk. It's my great aunt's. Okay, when you pretend to be the Empress, it keeps you here. Okay, it doesn't keep you in your wish fulfillments, because the Nine of Wands is wish fulfillments. And if you keep yourself hidden, then you can't really be who you are, you know? Because this person's just looking off into the distance, you know? They're just, you know, putting the wands up wherever they go. Wherever they need to. Wherever a tree needs to grow, it plants a seed. And now it tends the seeds. But if you're constantly here, if you're constantly living in a prison of your mind and not being who you are, then you can't plant those seeds, because you can't find your way out of the Eight of Swords mountain. Can't find your way out. But you know how to get out of there. You just have to be who you are. And then when you are who you are, you will be the High Priestess. And the High Priestess always knows this guy is there, because she's talking to him while he's whistling and doing his work. Okay? Now, obviously, if you are an Empress who feels in bondage because you're in a really bad situation, get yourself a friend and do the best you can to try to get out of it in whatever way you can. Make a plan, talk to a therapist, talk to whoever it is that you need to talk to. Go online, research, don't take my advice. You know, do this with your friends, and leave that situation as quickly as you can, but in the right amount of time and space, okay? Because you'll need time to plan, you'll need time to get a place, you'll need time to do those things. And if it's a situation where it's not that and you really, really gotta go, your friend is gonna understand that, and they will help you achieve what you need to achieve. So don't worry too much about that. Just be safe. They're also showing me a jealous Empress who keeps herself in bondage over a relationship that she no longer has. She no longer has a relationship with this guy. He has a relationship with the High Priestess. And as you can see, the High Priestess just really, she's not very drama-filled. She doesn't care. But the Empress keeps herself in the past relationship and tries to fight for it. Just move on. Don't be that Empress. unbind yourself from the past. And know that no matter how much you loved him, if this works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You move on to someone else. It's literally what I'm being told. Literally what I'm being told. Just move on to someone else. Because if you do that, you have a king of coins that will walk in. But you can't do that unless you learn. You gotta learn. You gotta learn and go in on yourself. And yeah, you gotta do that self-learning. You've gotta get that therapy and do that work so that you can have this height, so that basically what you want is you want to crawl out of this cage. You want cave. You want to take this blindfold off with the help of the Hierophant, someone who can help you, so that you can be the actual empress of your life. Because if you're hating on someone else because they are with someone who broke up with you or that you broke up with, that's your own trauma. And once you figure that out, you don't have a reason to hate her. Now listen, I've been a cosmetologist for 27 years. We all know what I'm talking about. And it's not everybody. Not everybody does this. But very, very hurt people do this. Because they can't, they're very used to, I'm being told they're very used to how that relationship worked, and that's what they want to go back to because they're used to it, even if the relationship was bad. And this person wants to move on because they need someone better. Once this person heals from this pain with the Hierophant, and we heal, and we learn how to put it behind us, not in a way they're saying where it doesn't exist and you forget it and you just plow forward, but where you actually deal with it and put it in place, that's when you find your King of Coins. That's when you find your King of Pentacles. That's when you find your guy, you know? And that's the guy who's the magician. That's the guy who's different than every guy. That's the guy that makes you feel young and free, takes away the devils, makes you look in the past and put your own stakes in the ground so that you're not howling at the moon. Yeah. Yeah. So that's important for you to do if you resonate with that. Thank you, Spirit. Oh yeah, someone had to hear that. I'm being told someone needed to hear that. Heal yourself. Heal yourself, because it's only by healing yourself that your new masculine is going to come in. And you're healing, you might be saying, they're going, oh, well, I am healing. Well, yes, we all have different points of healing. But the point is if there's sometimes, if you're just sitting here and trying to heal here without taking the mask off, that's not healing. That's just trying to plow forward and do whatever and then get comfortable and cozy. That's when, you know, when you're unhealed, that's when this masculine comes in. And this masculine isn't healed either. So he just makes it more trauma-filled for this, with this. And then you're just, you know, and especially, yeah, I'm being told if you have kids, then it's just another whole other thing. So it's really important to make sure you have that person that can help you. It doesn't always have to be a therapist. Sometimes you can just be that one honest friend who looked at you years ago and said, dude, you got to heal. You go to them and say, hey, dude, remember that time you said you got to heal? And they'll be like, yeah, you're ready? And you're going to be like, yes. And you'll do it. And this human is going to be nice. And, you know, as they say, there is no gender in tarot. So, you know, whether male or female, take it as it resonates. You know, if it fits you, it fits you. And it doesn't matter if it's masculine or feminine. That's funny, Spirit. But I'm not saying that. anything else? Okay, I swear to God, one flipped over. All right. If it did, I will find it. And if Spirit doesn't have anything else, that's okay too. Way too many. Okay. I wasn't going to do that, but then my finger flicked up oddly, and it just was like, okay. Got 2 9s out today. Anything else, Spirit? Okay. I've said this before. Something just said there's a clairvoyant that sits on top of the wheel that sees all through space and time. On a clear day, she can see forever. Sometimes people wonder how she can sit up on top of the wheel for so long without judging people. But you see, she has her little birdie up there. Okay. And because this woman knows how to keep her coins, she's a 9 of coins. And not only does she know how to, I'm gonna sneeze, not only does she know how to grow her coins, but she knows how to cultivate the land around her. She too is related to the Queen of Wands because she can grow things, she can see things from different perspectives. You know, coins is a sign of fire, and fire can take down a forest, but if you know how to appropriately use fire and how to take care of it, your forest will not burn down, right? And right here she has the bird in her hand, which says that this is a woman who is willing to learn. She is willing to learn about the other elements. She is willing to learn how to balance the fire and the earth and the air. And with her bird here, she has learned and is learning actually how to balance the air, how to fly in the sky, and how to look down and see the things. And the people wonder, how can she do this? How can she do this? How can she balance this? You know? I mean, she doesn't even have any water there. How can she possibly? She doesn't have any water. Well, her plants are green, aren't they? You can't look at it's sand. It's not even dirt. It's just sand. She grew plants in sand. You have to have some balance with the water to be able to do this. So this is an extraordinarily balanced person. So balanced, in fact, that this person can sit on top of the Wheel of Fortune, and this person can sit on top of the Wheel of Fortune all the time. Not just for a few minutes at a time, not just for not just for 5 or 6 minutes, but she's always on top of the wheel. She's always in the cloud. She's always in the atmosphere. She's always sitting at a table at the cafe, at the atmospheric cafe. She's always sitting there. And she sees everything and everyone going in. See? And what she can't see, her bird will help her see. Because you see her bird imprinted on her. And when an animal imprints on you, you imprint on all of that species. So when you and an animal imprint, you imprint with all of that species. And they're telling me and all of that bloodline, especially all of that bloodline. And that's the thing that people don't understand about you. They don't understand about you. And that's why I have the Page of Cups up here with the fish, because you're also balanced in water. They don't understand how you can be so this, you know? How can you be both this? How can you be this grown, mature woman, but also this grown, mature woman who knows her childhood, who knows how to be childlike, who knows how to have childish enthusiasms in a way appropriate for an adult? How could you possibly be this person? That's what they don't understand. How can you be this fish out of water? Because you embrace it all. The earth, the air, the fire, the water. You embrace it all and you sit on top of the wheel. And that perplexes people. It confuses them. They don't understand it. And that's really okay. That's okay. Because you see, they got 3 wheels at a time up there. They're looking at 3 different wheels at a time. But they're looking at the wheels, you know? See, they're looking at stuff. They're looking at one thing rather than observing it all. And mind you, there does come a point where you can observe too much. Do understand that, because you can do everything in excess. Hey guys. Oh, maybe she got a little too close. She has not been leaving Oscar. Violet has not been leaving Oscar alone, like, to the point that, like, we're disciplining now. Psst, psst, psst. Violet, you alright? No, you're fine, Oscar. Listen, I know, you walk, she sees him and she just darts for him, and he's like that parent that just needs 5 minutes. I just need 5 minutes from this child. And I just had 5 minutes because I walked away and went into another room, you know? So, they're good. She's safe. If there was anything wrong, I would have made sure to stop whatever was going on. But I could see them. Yeah, these people are never going to understand because they're watching. They're watching what's going on. And you should watch what's going on, but you have to watch and observe. You have to have that balance of those two things, because without that balance, you can't truly see everything going on around you. Because if you're just watching one thing forward, you're watching it with blinders. If you have blinders off and you're observing absolutely everything, you're seeing so much that you can't differentiate, and everything looks like Where's Waldo. They actually just showed me Where's Waldo. So you have to find that balance of, watching and observing, and that's what this person has done. It's all in stride and all in balance, and they're also telling me this person is balancing their age, their youth, with their olderness. As they grow, they're balancing their age with their younger age. They're balancing their youth with their growing age as they age, which is so important to do, because you do not make it to 53 without realizing at 42 that what you did at 22, oh my God, I did that as an adult. Because remember, when you're 22, you look back 20 years and you were 2 and you were cute, and it doesn't matter. You look back 10 years, you're 12. When you're 28, you look back 10 years, you're 18. You're cute. 20 years, you're 8. When you're 35, 25, it's very, very close, a little too close. And then, 15 is cute, right? But when you're 42, you realize that 10 years ago I was 32, and 20 years ago I was 22, and all of the things I did 20 years ago, I did as an adult. And then you realize, but this is what I did at 25. And because you've grown and you've aged and you have a new perspective and you've grown and done new things and had new experiences, when you look back on the things that you did in your 20s, you really, really, really start to realize what exactly you did from a different perspective. So if you did something that was helpful, you understand another layer of how helpful that was. If you did something that wasn't very good, you understand on another layer on how that wasn't good. And how you get through your 40s depicts how you're going to grow old. Because if you can come to a point in your 40s as you age where you're going, oh wow, that was awful, and then you make amends with it in yourself and you grow and you heal, or you hear things that you don't understand, so you give it time and you learn, you're growing old gracefully. That's what gracefulness is you're giving yourself time to learn and educate yourself, because you've got so much more in your head. So much more. So much more. So many more cups. And so many more memories. And so many different things. I've got like the 7 of Cups in my head actually right now. So many different things, And that's true at 53 too. Like I always give the example of the woman that I helped. There was a hill that's like this hill is like this. And I stopped my standard here, and she was here, and she had a walker, okay? And she was trying to cross over into a little salon here. I stopped my car, and I helped her over, and she got in, and I went back to my car, and I said, thank God I helped her. She would have fallen over. She would have broken her hip. In my 40s, I was like, my God, she would have rolled down the hill. At 53, being 53 and having a mom that's a nurse and friends that are nurses, what I've really, really come to realize is that the wind was so strong that day I could barely walk. She was frozen in place. If I had not stopped for her, she would have fallen and rolled down. Okay, she was on a slant, so she would have fallen, and then she would have rolled down, and she would have, if she didn't go down into the river, she would have hit a car. She would have died. She would have died. And growing older is understanding new points of view about your own activities. And the people who don't want to come to terms with those things or think about those things or have these sudden realizations that this person would have died had I not helped them. And I don't say that for accolades. I say that because I realize that now, and that's a really, really scary realization. You know, it's a very, very, very scary realization. And if you don't do that and you just live in the past, then as you grow older, you don't know how to deal with things when, you know, when I'm in my 60s or my 70s, or I'm closer to this woman's age and my body is feeling like hers. I'm going to remember this. You know what I'm saying? And if you haven't done the self-work and the shadow work and the growth, and I'm not saying it has to be perfect, it just has to be, you know, working on yourself, you know, just planting your gardens, planting your seeds, you know, taking a look at those weeds and making sure that they're actually weeds, or maybe they're pretty weeds you just want to keep in the garden because they're pretty and, you know, they keep away the pests. You know, it's doing all of that that helps us to grow. And that actually, I'm being told, is what kind of keeps us on the wheel. And that's why she's on the wheel, is because she has balanced that part of her life. So, okay, Spirit, is there anything else that you would like to say? Or are we done? Do you want me to grab those? I can grab those. Both sets or just one set? Which ones do you want? Okay. I'm going to leave you with some messages. My little holder that I crocheted. I did not know this was going to be a pick your own adventure reading. Let me know what you guys think of the pick your own adventure reading. You know, this could be fun. I liked this. This was nice. How long has it been? Oh, it's only been an hour. Okay, so what other messages do you have, Spirit? You're the universe's favorite grandchild. I don't think you can see it. You're the universe's favorite grandchild, and there's a little fairy. And it's gone. Okay. So I'm going to put these where Spirit tells me. In this first one, you're the universe's favorite grandchild. So if you resonated with that first reading, there you go. Oh, this is fun. Let me know what you guys think of the pick your own adventure reading. Okay. I have a feeling I have to put those back because something's says 2 are too many. So what else would you like to say, Spirit? Okay, I'm being told this has nothing to do with these 3 cards, these 3 piles left. This is a very specific message for someone listening. I do not know who you are. Hold on, Ern. You can feel it. Trust me, he's fine. He just went out before I started this. Okay. Someone is referencing Bluey, and this feels like a parent, or a parent figure. Something like that. You'll know how this resonates with you, whether it's whoever your loved one is that passed. Referencing Bluey, the part where Bingo says, I want to be called Lon. Okay, Lon. I love how she just makes her names up. But specifically this says, remember, I'll always be here for you, even if you can't see me, because I love you. And this is from the episode of Sleepy Time, and I'm being told you should watch that. And for whoever this is here, your person is there, and they're always around you. They're showing me someone who hold on, Ernie. Nearly done, baby. It's not someone who is weeping uncontrollably, but you get those moments where you miss your mom and you just have a good cry. This person wants you to know that when you're having this good cry, when you're thinking of them and you're just having this good cry, that they are surrounding you with their love. They are hugging you. They're hugging your head, they tell me. They're hugging your head, okay? They come and they hug your head tightly. They rock back and forth to let you know you're okay and that they're there. Thank you, Violet. Anything else, Spirit? Obviously, you don't have to. If you don't want to, that's up to you. But you... All right, so that's funny. Okay. Here, the safe space is meeting their safe space. This divine union is meeting, and you two are each other's safe space. Down here, not everything is supposed to change all at once. Remember that healing I was talking about? Not everything is supposed to change all at once, and not everything is easy. Ernesto Diego, Hudson Rivera, come here, baby. Come here for a minute. Just for a second, sweetie. And with this one, with this feisty, balanced human being, don't fight a Chihuahua and Chihuahua. They're saying because she's sitting at the top of the wheel and she can see everything that is going on, you know. Yeah, she doesn't have to travel far to see exactly where she's going, and she doesn't have to travel far to see exactly where you're going. Is there anything else you want to say, Spirit? There is no peace, only civility. And Jesus started a political movement, not a religious movement. So these two themselves are actually, all right then. Okay, so this tiny little message from the universe and Yeshua, and then I have to let him out because he's not being an ass. He's just, Ernie, come here. Come here, babe. Come here. I love you. Can you give me just a second? All right, thank you. I know, because you feel it too. I know, you feel it too. I'll give you a scratch-a-roo. Okay. He also is very sensitive to spirit, so anytime a spirit is here, he is barky and looking, so, you know, that's other things. Okay, so this is, for whoever needs to hear this little message. This is a message from the divine. This is a message from Yeshua. I'm being asked to do this. Okay, Ernie, hold on 1 second, and Mommy will be right done. You did a good job. See, Mr. Itchy Pants. Mr. Itchy Pants. Sir Allergy-ridden little bunny. I love you so much. So much is my little bunny bear. I love you, my little itchy boo-boo. This message is directly from the divine in Yeshua. There is no peace, only civility. Jesus started a political movement, not a religious movement. The universe doesn't care about what you don't want to believe in. So whoever needs to hear this message, having such deja vu right now. Okay, give me 1 second, Ernie. I'm going to make this short and sweet. Basically, what this is saying is the following. There is no peace, only civility references to the fact that peace means being civil to each other and not doing the little things that poke and prod and rear the ugly heads, you know? And like Northern Ireland, in Northern Ireland, when they would put up the markers, they would shoot them down because at some point they were like, there's peace. Why do you have these markers here? You don't need the markers here. No one needs the markers. We know there's peace. And until these markers are gone, there isn't any peace because these markers egg things on. These markers are reminders. And it's one thing to have the history and learn and have the education about what happened. It's another thing to have all the markers up because at some point you need civility where I'm going to go across the street to your house to get my kid who likes your kid, but I can't stand you because we were in the war together. And this reminds me of Jesus. You know, Jesus didn't start a political movement. No, Jesus didn't start a religious movement. He didn't start religion. He started a political movement. And the fact of the matter is, the war in Ireland was a political movement. And they learned how to have peace and civility. Because at the end of the day, as the universe says, it doesn't care what you don't want to believe in. It doesn't matter what you don't want to believe in. Civility is civility. Civility is when this is all over, if we make it the fuck out of here, and I am 100% not joking, and wow, this is a pissed off spirit. If we make it out of here, because the forefathers have been coming a lot, and my God, they said we're out of the testing phase. No, we're out of the experimental phase and we're in the testing phase because remember, this country was an experiment to begin with. So at some point we had to leave the experimental phase and we had to go into the testing phase. You know, that's what you do with cancer research. You have an experimental phase and then you have a testing phase. We are in the testing phase. And the universe doesn't care what you believe in. And at the end of the day, if this comes out, People are going to have to live together. People who voted for a dictator are going to have to live with people who are looking at people going, this is what you voted for. We told you. And rather than being I told you so's and being assholes, you have to have civility and realize that, this is your neighbor. And we're just not going to hate each other. I don't have to like you, but I can be civil. Because your kid likes my kid, and your kid's going to marry my kid, and they're going to have grandchildren, and we're going to have to be civil to each other. Because if we're not civil to each other, that means that we're going to not only hate each other, we're going to pit our children against each other, and then our children's children, and then that makes people choose sides. And what does it mean when you choose sides? You're choosing a war. Why? Why even bother? Why? So, as it says, the universe doesn't actually care what you don't want to believe in, okay? It doesn't. And I'm also being referenced to the song that's on here, the three wooden crosses by Randy Travis. So, yeah, that's what Yeshua says. At the end of the day, this is not a religious movement. This isn't about religion. It's about civility and who is willing to be civil and who is taking advantage of things and saying they're walking in the feet of Jesus when at the end of the day, Jesus fed and clothed the poor. Jesus tried to end, racism. Jesus tried to end hunger. Jesus tried to end these horrific things. I can't think of all of them because I can't think of all of them at the stir of the moment. And Jesus doesn't care about what your opinions are of any of this if you're not actually walking in his footsteps, if you're not looking at what you're doing and asking, what would Jesus do? Now, when you're saying, what would Jesus do? He doesn't actually mean, what would Jesus do? He's saying, don't ask yourself, what would Jesus do, the WWJD, because that's just make yourself feel good by pretending you're doing what Jesus says. Jesus is saying to me right now, what would Jesus do for this homeless person? He's not going to video record himself giving the man 35 cents. He's going to say, hey, guy, what do you need? What do you need that I can help you with in this moment right now? You need a cup of coffee? Okay, do you need a muffin to go with that coffee? Do you have lunch and dinner? Okay, well, let me get you some food, and this will set you up for the day. And then if you see that guy the next day, you're going to help him a little bit more. Might you be helping him forever? Sure. But at some point, there's someone you're going to help, and eventually oh my God, I'm being moved to tears. I'm being told eventually there's someone you're going to help, and one day you're not going to see them on the street, and you're going to see them on the street. You're not going to see them on the street, but then all of a sudden you are, and they'll be in a suit and tie, and they'll be looking at you, and you'll be looking at them, and they'll look at you and said, you loaned me $35. You said, what can I help you with today? I said, I just need $35 for a new pair of shoes. And you gave him $35 for a new pair of shoes that helped him get the job he needed. And he's not homeless anymore. He's not living in that shelter anymore. Because you helped that man get what he needed to succeed. And that's the point of this, Jesus says, is to help the person get what they need to succeed, not bog them down with the shit they don't need. And yeah, Jesus really doesn't care about that kind of swearing. They all just don't like the F word. Jesus, we're going to talk about that later. Yeshua. Oh, so emotional. So that's what Jesus wants you to do. See someone that needs help. How can I help you in this moment? I can't solve all of your problems for you. Maybe every day when I walk past, I'm going to have a coffee and a donut in my hand. And maybe one of these days I'm going to pass by you 10, 15, 20 years later. And your friend is going to be sitting there and he's going to take your donut and coffee because I'm going to find out you passed away. Or maybe this guy ends up in the hospital and this guy goes to visit him. It helps him get into the nursing home he needs. You know, these are the things that Jesus does. Jesus doesn't kidnap people and put them in concentration camps. What do you think Jesus would have done during the Holocaust? Think about that. What do you think Jesus would do in Gaza right now? Because isn't Gaza the homeland of Jesus? Thank you. I didn't think of that. Gaza is the homeland of Jesus. And what do you think Jesus would be doing in his homeland? I like to say, what would Picard do? Over what would Jesus do? Because when you think of what would Picard on the deck of the Star Trek Enterprise do? What would he do for a derelict ship? How would he help them? What do you do? That's a powerful spirit. So, some fish breathe air. Be good, behave, be happy, be yourself. So yeah, that's the message from Yeshua. He is leaving now. What would you do? Don't ask what Jesus would do. He's saying, ask what you would do. So that's the question. Don't ask what Jesus would do. What will you do? So that is where we leave you tonight. And as always, let's see if we can see this card. Be good, behave, be happy. I'm not good at this stuff. It doesn't matter. It says, be good, behave, be happy, be yourself. It's just what I always say, you know? Anyway, good night. God bless you, and we love you.